Check this out. Traditional martial arts are not effective in modern self-defense situations. Okay, here we go again. In my opinion, this misconception was fueled by the marketing of a particular art or system when it wanted to gain a foothold in the US in the 1990s. This particular art made grandiose statements about its effectiveness, while at the same time just preaching about the ineffectiveness of the arts that were already in the US, such as Tae Kwon Do, karate, kung fu, and so on. Now, that's not to say that that particular martial art was not effective. However, anytime that you have to elevate yourself by denigrating or belittling something or someone else, well, that's always a little suspect to me. Well, as I said, I spoke about this before. Here it is. Growing up in New York City, I've known a number of traditional martial artists, trained in traditional martial arts all the way through, and these guys would beat the schnoogies out of you. I'm talking about, well, I have to include my teachers, Kuksanim Yum Kinam and Chungkwanchanim Kitayam, but I'm also including men like Professor Moses Powell, Victor Moore, Joe Louis, Bobby Dreeben. All these guys trained in traditional martial arts, and these guys are quite capable of handling themselves on the street. Now, what they did on the streets may not be as pretty, or whatever as you would see in the movies or in the Dojang or the dojo, but it was effective and it worked. And also, a number of these guys had jobs that made them utilize this traditional martial art training. These guys a lot of them were police officers, a lot of them were bouncers, bodyguards, or personal escorts. I even have to include myself in this category because, for a while I had to work as a bouncer. I didn't like it, but I had to work as a bouncer in a gentleman's club. And I also did some personal escort and some bodyguard work. And yeah, there were times where I had to use my training and I had to use my abilities to get the job done. Some time ago, I saw a friend of mine who was an Hapkido practitioner. He was working as a bouncer at the South Street Seaport. Well, I saw him take out this idiot, and he was a traditional Hapkido man. Now, I will admit, the movements and the things he did resembled more Wally J and Small Circle than it did look like those big, wide movements that you might see, in the Ueshiba videos and things like that. But the point of the matter is, he was an Hapkido man, and he took care of his business. Adding fuel to this misconception of that traditional martial arts are ineffective in self-defense situations is the fact that there are now so many non-contact schools around. These schools cater to the demographic of students who are trying to get in shape, trying to improve their health, their fitness. They're also trying to center themselves and improve their mind, body, and spirit. They're not interested in self-defense techniques. They're not interested in combatives. Well, that's fine. That's not the problem. This is the problem. Many of these masters and instructors from these non-contact martial arts schools are giving self-defense seminars and having self-defense classes. Now, these masters and instructors are maybe gifted athletes. Their techniques can be clean, crisp, and they're extremely athletic. They can even tell you the history of their art, who did what, and things of that nature. But they've never been in a fight. They have never had a physical conflict. They never had to put their hands on someone. So because of this, they're teaching certain theories as if these were the practical applications. And that's where this ineffectiveness happens to emanate from. They teach things such as, if you're in a fight, you can grab somebody's wrist and easily put them in a joint lock or a wrist grab or something like that. Well, I spoke about this before, and we all know it's not that simple. It's not that easy. It is not necessarily that the art is ineffective. It is not that traditional martial arts are ineffective. Unfortunately, it is some of the instructors, and what these instructors are teaching is what is ineffective.